So here's beginning what we think is going to be the last semi-major, or maybe annoying project is the way to describe it.
Yes.
Before we go cruising.
We've been noticing a little bit of oil leaking at the back of the engine. I'm hoping it is the rocker cover or the valve cover, which is, you're gonna see it, we're gonna take it off. It's this gasket here. I had replaced it in Indianapolis back in 2020, but we didn't have the gasket, so we used Gasket Maker. So I'm gonna try to swap that out with the real gasket. If it's not that, it's probably the rear main seal, which would be a lot more work, which I wouldn't do this all because I think the transmission's gotta come off the back of the motor and all that stuff. So hopefully this clears it up. The first step though is you gotta clean the area around because you don't want debris falling into the engine. You're basically opening the top of the engine where the oil is and the valves, and you don't want stuff getting in there. So we're gonna go clean pretty well, take it off. I can't find any of the torque values online for this, what the nut should be torqued at, so that's also interesting, because if you do it too much, you're gonna pinch the gasket. If you do it too little, it's gonna leak. So I've been searching everywhere, can't find it, but I'm just gonna see how we have it and get a feel. I'm not gonna go like monkey tight.
The last time we did this was about 2 years ago. Yeah, Indianapolis. We had Matt of MJ Sailing help with it, because it was our first time doing it then, right?
Yeah, at that time we were doing the valve clearance adjustment, which is like there's, the valves is what we're opening up right here. That we adjusted to get to the proper tolerances. This time we're hearing it's a rattle in the engine. That's when you have to adjust the valves. I don't hear that this time. This is just purely to try to get rid of an oil leak that's at the back of the engine, I think.
Oh, so I'm basically completely wrong?
Oh, this is the last time we had it open. So you're not totally wrong.
Hopefully this is our last little engine day. The wind looks good for a couple days from now, so.
Gotta love a nice organized socket kit.
After almost 9 months of pushing, we are so close. And in just a few short days, may actually cast the lines and say farewell to a place we've called home for far, far longer than we ever could have imagined.
Here's the smaller hand, letting her get in there. And again, this is just to ensure that we don't knock any debris into the engine itself. Cover off They were very loose, actually, I'd say.
Wait, does this cover have a specific name?
It's called a rocker cover.
Rocker.
Get their hose off. To find a place to get leverage. Okay.
Wow.
So this is why you have to be careful, because the engine is literally right here.
Yeah. That is terrifying.
So what we did is we reused the old gasket, but we're gonna put a freshie on. I don't see any evidence of damage, but maybe the back a little bit. I don't know, it's that little nick on the back. Try and get all this old gasket maker off. It's such a tenuous job with the engine open right there. Just kind of flinging into the grease. It's not that much fun. Grace's work on, she's a little more focused on details than I am typically.
Okay, Bill put the gasket in while I was busy cleaning. So yeah, you can kind of see it.
Pressed it in so it's the right shape. Cleaned this up. Now I'm gonna try to get this back on without unseating the gasket.
So one thing we do know is that you're not supposed to tighten these too much. So we don't know exactly how much, but we know you're not supposed to tighten them too much. So
Do like that, like just 2 fingers. We've got a lot of oil everywhere now, huh?
clean it again.
See, it's coming down.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna clean everything up so that we can actually tell what's going on once you're on the engine. Okay, so we ran it for a couple minutes. Don't want it to get too hot.
See some fresh oil there. I don't know.
Oh, no, really?
What? No, I don't know if it's fresh or not. But we just want to wipe it.
The second test, I'm gonna do the paper towel, shop towel wipe.
See, I know the sides look okay. I was watching that while it was running. So
Yeah.
I'm concerned where I can't see.
No. Oh, it's pretty clean.
I think there's like a lot of oil back here in general. It's okay for now. We'll have to watch it. Might be something that happens over hours of running. But I would say for now, I feel comfortable running it.
Yeah.
Oil pressure is good. Water flow is good. Woohoo! We're having folks over tonight, so I'm just doing a little prep work. I already made the steak, then our chara, and some other people bring some things to grill, so I figured I'd get that out of the way.
I'm making a quick walk. It's like 6:30, and we're having a bunch of people over, mostly friends from the yard, and actually some people we met in the Sea of Cortez last season too. And we have all these ripe avocados, so the only thing I don't have is cilantro. Got some garlic in there. Gonna get our lime in.
A lot of stuff.
Earlier today, we hit Sam's Club and provisioned for our quickly approaching departure. We're planning at least 2 months in the Sea of Cortez, where we'll mostly be in uninhabited locations, so we're loading up on staples.
A giant Jenga puzzle, this refrigeration situation. Grace gonna split the chicken up so we have better shapes.
I see a hole right here. There will be one spot where we can get fresh produce eventually, but we won't get there for weeks, so we're taking advantage of the food shops here in Penasco. Comes from the States with us, so we kind of have
a good amount of food on board.
We have to work around.
We don't even have space if we caught a fish.
Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you about my favorite new thing, these Vessi shoes. I'm just looking inside right now and see that they say Cloud Comfort, and that is such a good way to describe them. They are super lightweight and super comfortable, but most importantly, they are 100% waterproof. And they also have a technology that makes them breathable as well, so that's a pretty awesome combination. Another thing that's great about these is they don't have laces, they just slip on. Kind of feels like a sock almost. But very supportive sole, and I think they'd be very good for both physical type of activities, but also just running errands, so athleisure, plus hiking, all that kind of stuff. They're very versatile. And speaking of appearance, they have a lot of cute colors. I liked the yellow, but they have some really nice neutrals too, and different styles. If you guys are interested, you can check out their selection at Vessi.com/Calico. And if you want to try them out, you have 365-day dry sock guarantee, which I love. We have a 15% off code, and that is Calico. So put that into the code coupon box at your checkout and enjoy.
Or you can make rum, you can make vodka, but so basically it's just a pure alcohol.
This will be the last time we hang out with some of our friends from the boatyard for a long time. Air fryer broccoli? They've been with us through a difficult refit, and it's good to have everyone over on a floating Calico skies.
Oh, fire!
Right here. And then
Right. Cole brought some fish. Everybody gets a chance at the barbecue.
Oh, you have to factor it out because you
like really connected.
I think we might get one when we come back though.
And it actually wasn't that bad.
Bill's working on the Nav Light right now. That died. I don't remember when.
Not my finest work. I had to run it outside. I can't. It's not fitting through its conduit. We just need a Nav Light, so for now it'll have to do.
And also, we just need to go cruising. So
Yeah.
at this point, we're just making some fixes that may need to be readdressed.
Yeah, these are tricolor 90% of the time anyway, but it's important to have the lower level lights when you're entering like a town area at night.
Yeah.
Secure these wires away from the anchor chain. So we just received in the mail a data hub from Predict Wind, and basically how this got started is historically our website has our tracking information on it, and historically it's been fed by our Iridium Go. But in the advent of Starlink, and we now have Starlink on board, we're not going to have that Iridium Go on as frequently because we have remote communications. If we were on an ocean crossing, we would obviously still have the Iridium Go because it's waterproof, go into a life raft, it's self-contained power, and all those things. But for a season in the Sea of Cortez, we are going to be using Data Hub to do our tracking. And it seems pretty simple to wire in. This is the power pack. You cut the wire. It takes between it actually takes a lot of voltage. It takes between 9 volts and 120. So basically anything can power it. So I'm going to cut this and hardwire it into our DC panel, not use the AC plug. And then it just taps into our NMEA network to pick up wind and to pick up our position and stuff like that. There's an external GPS antenna here, which I'm probably not going to need because we'll pick it up from our NMEA network. And yeah, it's just kind of cool. Like I wanted to keep our tracking page. I enjoy having that. It's kind of fun to look back on the website. This thing also, which I'm pretty stoked about, will create polars for our boat. We don't have polars. We can't actually. So the boat's old. No one's created the polars for this boat. So
do you think everyone knows what a polar is?
A polar is so when you use Predict Wind, which we've been using Predict Wind since 2016. So before YouTube, it was like my first major offshore journey. I've had it on board since then. But in the weather routing, it uses polars, which is like your theoretical max speed based on wind angle. So it really makes a big difference in routing. So, if it's blowing 15 knots on the beam, the boat should be going 7.2 theoretically.
Based on the build of the boat and the size
the hull
of the
shape
boat.
and the sails and all that. Right. So for us, we don't have accurate polar data. Like I'm basically taking like 100%, 110%, kind of like just applying broad percentages to increase the speed or decrease the speed based on a theoretical polar. This device is going to track our wind instruments and our speed and develop polars for the boat.
Specific to our boat.
So that'll actually feed our weather routing software, which will make it more accurate for us. So all kind of cool. And this all just kind of came back. So I was like, hey, I don't have my Iridium Go anymore. And how can I maintain my Predict Wind tracking website? And I said, yeah, try the Data Hub. A Data Hub is into the NMEA network. I just teed it off our chart plotter here. It's going to plug it into 120 volts for now and test it and set it up before I tuck it all away. I'm just going ahead and clicking NMEA 2000 on CAN 0, which is our NMEA network GPS data. Now that I got it all set up, I'm going to go ahead and snip the cord and wire it into 12 volt DC. It calls for a 3 amp fuse, which I have here. And I'm going to hook it up to the navigation instrument panel so that this box turns on when our nav instruments are on, which makes sense to me. All the connections, 3 amp fuse in line, my ground, and chopped off AC power pack. There's a nav instrument circuit here. So I'm going to put that on the breaker, and then my ground is here. But I'm going to go ahead and shut all the electricity off so I don't electrocute myself.
On our last night at the dock, we're making a bolognese with spaghetti squash noodles. It's been a marathon to get to this point, and tonight we're reflective. Tomorrow is a big day for us. So much has happened since we last flew our sails and manned the helm of Calico Skies. It feels like a lifetime ago that we were last underway. An odd feeling since our life was consumed with sailing for so many years until now. Well, the boat is all stowed. We're both a little bit nervous, / a lot nervous, so we just wanted to get ready and get going. It's 6:15 a.m. and we're going to be going 70 miles today for the first time in 9 months.
Here we go, let's cast some duck lines off.
And so far things are going according to plan. We actually woke up way before our alarms because I think we were nervous, and the wind is pretty much doing what it's supposed to do, which is like, I think it's blowing like 13 right now.
I'm just going to pull the boat forward.
Okay.
Walk her out of the slip.
Bye-bye, dock. Goodbye, air conditioning. Goodbye, Penasco. Been our home for a long time.
Just watch your dinghy.
Oh, man, it's weird to be moving with the new enclosure.
Yeah.
Feels different. You're, yeah,
close?
Perfect. You were close, but
I got the reverse out of here, I think.
I think it's a pretty strong current in here. Yeah, I think there's a current in there.
There's something in there.
I can see the water moving behind you.
Made it out though.
Towards the back of the dock. Swirling.
Got a radio to port captain. Capitanario del Puerto, Capitanario del Puerto, Valero, Calico Skies.
Beautiful morning. Bye, guys! We'll be waiting for ya. Those are our friends Crystal and Craig.
Hopefully they join us.
Part of our boatyard crew, and they have a crazy story. They've been in the boatyard for years. Hola! And they're on the same schedule as us. Hopefully just a few days behind us. But one thing about boats is when you haul them out, you never know how long it's going to take you to get back in the water, and it took them much longer than they expected. Same as us. I mean, it took them longer than us, but in both cases it took us both longer than expected. Okay, we just got a shallow water alarm. We were a little bit too close.
Like some shoaling right here.
Yeah, Bill was trying to avoid these fishing boats. It's been a while since we've had to multitask.
Yeah, situational awareness isn't where it should be.
Oh my god, this feels beyond rusty. Right. I don't know if we've said this on camera or not yet, but we've been talking a lot about the fact that we're probably not going to actually relax until after we've been like on anchor for probably 24 hours. So even just getting there alone, I don't know if that's going to be enough to calm our nerves. That's going to be a big part of it for sure, but then there's life on anchor. Whoa, not used to waves. Woo. Yeah.
Not in sailing shape anymore. Holy smokes. Amateur hour here. So we both are a little green. We are not used to sailing.
No.
Oh god. Even myself. Short, steep seas, it's not, I don't have my sea legs.
I never had mine. I feel about normal in terms of nausea, but I'm definitely more fearful right now than normal.
It's just the nerves and jitters, I think.
Yeah.
I have the same thing. That's why we have to get back on the horse.
I just hope that everything like is good on like the rig and everything, you know.
I checked the rig pretty carefully.
I know you did.
Good test.
Yeah.
We'll be okay, dear. We're doing like 6-7 right now, and 14 knots of wind, reef 1, full jib. Pretty good.
Yeah. It is really good, actually.
It's a really good sea trial, you know. We have our new headsail. I gotta get shots of it when I recover.
Yeah, I know. I will leave the cockpit, but not quite yet.
The seas are known to be kind of crappy in the sea. Like the northern seas, the tides are so strong.
Yeah.
Look at the breaking wave.
And it's been blowing for the last 2 days, so. Oh yeah, I see that breaking wave.
It's just a little shitty. Oh, poor Grace. You a little seasick, honey?
Yeah. Sail is fully open because the wind has come down slightly, so we had to get rid of that reef to kind of steady us out more.
Feel a bit better?
Yeah, it does.
A little more speed.
Yeah, we're going almost
6.3 again.
6.3 knots. Feeling a bit better.
Seas have come down a little bit.
Yeah. Bill gave me breakfast that he made the other day. It's like potato, eggs. There's a little random avocado in there.
And tomato.
It's really good though.
things have mellowed out substantially. Only about 11 knots over the deck. Thinking about getting the code zero out. That also seems like quite the mission right now. We have about 30 miles left to go, and it's about 1 o'clock, 12:30, so making pretty good speed. This is really nice. The sun's pretty hot. I ran a water maker, and it was doing about 350 ppm. That's not too bad. And the solar is like absolutely crushing it. Like we're already recharged. I made an hour and a half of water, so that's pretty sweet. Really enjoying full enclosure here. It's so much more comfortable and solid in here. Starlink figured out we were in the ocean, and so we're connected, but it's not giving me data. And I'm not sure my Mexican dish has an option to do the ocean data, so that's something we'll have to figure out. It's not a priority right now. It could be anchored soon, but for any further afield ocean crossings and stuff like that, we need to have Starlink figured out. So I need to get a U.S. dish rather than a Mexican dish. Don't really need internet right now though. Just kind of chilling, sailing. Grace isn't napping because we started today around 4:30. Yeah, so far so good.
So I just woke up from a snooze and Bill saw a whale shark. I ran up and we turned the boat around, which we didn't film, but then we couldn't find it again. But it's pretty cool because that's one of the things the Sea of Cortez is known for. We didn't see any last season, so now my eyes are glued to the water and both of us are feeling a lot better. And it's starting to feel just like how I remember good passages to feel. It's actually really nice and it's not that hot. I mean, it's warm, but not unbearable.
Get back in the saddle, I guess.
What is the temperature down there?
89.
89, yeah.
89's not that bad.
I always felt like I could tolerate 90. Over that, it gets harder. The water looks so good.
The wind's picked up a little bit. It's been kind of pretty consistent all day, actually, in the teens.
Good thing we didn't go yesterday. Not that
Yeah,
we're ready,
the
but...
sea state is really flattened out. It's a little bit gnarly earlier, but this is pretty chill. Got an override. I just need the wrapped over the top of itself. Never done that one before, but the self-tailor I've never done it before, at least.
So the wind died, but we're only 2 hours away from our destination now. So turn the engine on, bring it in the jib, and yeah, I don't know if we'll get wind again, but we're so close, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's like 4 o'clock now.
Like a good little test for the engine.
Yeah.
Before we, go set off the motor all day.
Gotta test everything. There's such a nice shade of blue here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't think anyone's ever really been here.
I just saw other birds. There's blackbirds out there.
It's sort of off the beaten path for most of the sailors in Rocky Point.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a new place. It says it's like a nice touristy town on the internet. I guess we'll find out. I tried reading the port captain, nada.
Does that group of blackbirds look just like an animal? Sorry, I'm so distracted. Ever since Bill saw that whale shark, I've just been on high alert. But yeah, Bill was saying that it's supposed to be a pretty touristy place, so there should be Americans and stuff here, but...
It looks distinctly different than Puerto Peñasco.
Yeah, it looks really different than...
It looks like Baja, California.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. We moved states. It's kind of shallow. This is our forward scan. It's about 20 feet ahead of us, so we're not seeing any big major obstructions out 60 feet of us. So that's kind of neat.
So cool.
So we're just gonna get out of the channel. So you have to set a split screen so we have both. I think that makes sense.
Yeah. And there's a big tide here, so we're just trying to figure out exactly where we should be. It's not a very big anchorage, and there's 2 sunken boats in here, it looks like. So yeah, we're just trying to give ourselves enough swing room, enough room for the tide to come in. But it seems pretty protected in here. There's a break wall, so that's really nice. setting the anchor alarm.
37 feet at 103.
Got it.
I'm probably gonna leave the instruments on tonight in case the water does get shallow on us at 4. Good job, dear.
Can't believe we did it.
First sail.
That was exhausting and exhilarating. We're gonna sleep well tonight. Just looked at my Apple Watch and I got 4 hours of sleep last night. So I napped a little bit today, but not too much. My throat is off because I put the patch on when I was seasick. But yeah, man, I think the heat and just using muscles that I'm not used to using, like especially in my chest area, definitely kicked my butt. Yeah.
I am so out of shape after surgery and living in the States and not lifting sails and stuff like that.
I think you got burned too.
I got sunburned, yeah. Okie dokie.
Hello. Hi, San Felipe. Very good to us.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
Gave us one sick night of sleep. I haven't slept like that in a really long time. Beautiful day. Well, I'm starting to remember why I love cruising. Yesterday was rough, but this morning is beautiful. And it's hot. Oh, I just saw a fish jump. But it's amazing. Feels so good to be back. How do you feel about being back on the water?
It's nice.
Yeah, right?
Much nicer than yesterday morning starting off in 20 and steep seas.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been as bad if it hadn't been our first time in 9 months moving the boat.
Yeah,
I think we were ready for it and the deck wasn't prepared as well as it should have been. And the sails weren't up, sail covers weren't off, so it was kind of awakening that the sea is a harsh mistress, but this is a little more chill right now.
Yeah. Wow, it is gorgeous, these mountains. I am so excited. I wonder if we'll get another animal sighting today, like one that I might actually see.
Who knows?
Maybe I'll nap less.
Well, you slept better today.
Yeah, yeah.